Let me tell you a story. A story not just of miracles, but of a battle. Not with swords or spears, but with signs and wonders. A battle between a proud king and a patient, powerful God. It began with a man named Moses, sent by the God of Israel to speak to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And his message was simple: let my people go. Pharaoh scoffed. He didn't know this Hebrew God. He ruled over a nation of gods. Sun gods, river gods, frog gods, fly gods. Why should he bow to a foreign shepherd's deity? But Pharaoh would soon learn. Not through words, but through plagues. The first sign came quietly, but its impact was deafening. Moses struck the Nile with his staff, and the water turned to blood. The sacred river, the lifeblood of Egypt, became a crimson stream. Fish died. The water stank. People dug holes, desperate for clean water, and the priests of Egypt, helpless. Pharaoh was shaken, but he hardened his heart. Next came the frogs. They boiled out of the rivers, leaping into homes, beds, ovens, even kneading bowls. Pharaoh's magicians managed to mimic the miracle. But they couldn't stop it. Every ribbit was a divine drumbeat, calling Pharaoh to yield. He begged Moses to pray, and when the frogs died, he went back on his word. Then Moses struck the dust with his staff, and from the ground rose a swarm of gnats, biting, stinging, crawling into every crevice. This time, Pharaoh's magicians couldn't keep up. They whispered, "This is the finger of God." But Pharaoh refused to listen. Next, flies, but not a few. Swarms, clouds, blackening the skies. They invaded homes, markets, palaces, buzzing, biting, corrupting everything. Yet miraculously, in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites lived, there were no flies. God was making a distinction now. This wasn't just nature. This was judgment. Then came disease. Overnight, the livestock of Egypt, horses, donkeys, cattle, died. The fields were littered with carcasses, an economic and spiritual blow, because animals weren't just food, they were symbols of strength and divinity. Still, Pharaoh's heart remained stone. Then came pain, personal, inescapable. Moses tossed soot into the air, and it spread like wildfire. Boils broke out on the skin of every Egyptian, man and beast. Even Pharaoh's magicians, once proud and confident, couldn't stand. Now, no one could hide. The judgment was on their very flesh. But Pharaoh still resisted. God warned, "Let my people go, or I will send hail like Egypt has never seen." Pharaoh refused. And so, hail fell from the sky, mixed with fire. Crops were destroyed, trees shattered, fields ruined. The servants who feared the Lord and brought their animals inside were spared, but those who mocked the warning lost everything. Still, Pharaoh hardened his heart. Then came the locusts. In clouds so thick they darkened the sky, they descended. Whatever the hail had spared, the locusts devoured. Leaves, fruit, bark, hope. Egypt was bare, its pride and beauty gone. Yet Pharaoh clung to control like a drowning man to a stone. Then the sun went dark. For 3 full days, a darkness so thick and unnatural covered Egypt. It wasn't just night, it was paralysis. People couldn't see, couldn't move, couldn't speak. But again, in Goshen, there was light. Pharaoh's defiance now looked more like fear, but still, he would not break. And so, God said, "One final plague I will bring." At midnight, the firstborn in every Egyptian home would die. But there was hope. A lamb slain and its blood placed on doorposts. For where the blood was seen, death would pass over, and it did. But from Pharaoh's palace to the lowest house, a cry rose up in Egypt, loud, guttural, full of grief. Pharaoh summoned Moses that night. "Go," he said, "take your people, take everything, just go." And just like that, Israel was free. The 10 plagues weren't just punishments. They were proof to Egypt, to Israel, and to history that God sees, God hears, and God delivers. Not even a Pharaoh can stand against a God who fights for his people. And from the dust of tyranny rose a story that still stirs the soul today.